Hey guys, Joel Bridewell here. Thanks for joining me on Select a Bible Topic Tuesday. If you haven't seen the Marriage and Family Monday video on discipline with your children, take a look at that and give me some feedback as to what you've seen to be helpful in your own life as you've parented. On Wednesday, Witnessing Wednesday, I'll deal with witnessing to those who don't place the right kind of emphasis on Jesus. So it could be cults and other, even some denominations that don't do that so well. But on Select a Bible Topic Tuesday, the most votes was for spiritual warfare. So let me deal with spiritual warfare. I believe spiritual warfare, the fights between what may say good and evil, between those that serve the Lord versus those that serve Satan, whether you call angels, demons, and other principalities and spiritual forces at work, I believe it's very alive and well, but we miss it so often. I think we see glimpses of it in places like Genesis 6, sons of God and daughters of men. I can deal with that another time, but I do think sons of God are referencing angels. Places like Job, when Satan goes to tempt and fight against Job and tries to bring obviously spiritual dimensions into play with all the physical harm that came his way. The book of Revelation is filled with spiritual warfare that goes on. We see spiritual warfare in place when Joshua is about to go into battle and he sees the angel of the Lord stand before him and gets an idea of those other forces that are fighting. As I may mention, Revelation talks a lot about it. Ephesians 6 talks about different, that our war is not against flesh and blood, but against the principalities, the powers of the air, and so forth. There are those that are demonic type forces, not necessarily demons, but those that serve Satan, so others that fight against those that are serving God. And so we see that. We see in Hebrews 1:14 that angels are defined as ministering spirits sent to serve those who will inherit salvation. Obviously, if they're sent to serve us, there's probably some others that are trying to fight against us. I think books like Frank Peretti's This Present Darkness and Pierced in the Darkness, C.S. Lewis with the Screwtape Letters, Lord Falkland with Randy Alcorn. I think those give us glimpses into spiritual warfare that the Bible talks about in some of those places. And so it's obviously if you're a believer, you have the Holy Spirit dwelling within you, you can't lose that salvation. And a demon cannot come and possess you, but there can be demon oppression. There can be spiritual temptation to cause you to want to do something that would be unnatural for you as a believer, to serve Satan and Satan's army, you might say. But there's unbelievers, of course. They're also influenced, and they don't necessarily recognize it. I believe there's much spiritual warfare going on when churches gather to worship. I believe there's much spiritual warfare going on when believers are out there sharing the good news with others so they might come to trust in Jesus. I believe spiritual warfare is existing whenever there's husband and wives fighting each other and fights within families, within churches, within communities. I think that's signs of spiritual warfare because Satan wants to kill, steal, and destroy, as John 10 teaches us through Jesus' words. But Jesus has come that we may have life and have it more abundantly. So the way we can best be prepared for spiritual warfare is to be equipped with the Bible, which is defined in Ephesians 6 as the sword of the Spirit, and to also be equipped with prayer as we depend upon the Lord and ask for His intervention in our lives and for His forces to be at work, His angels and other seraphim and cherubim and other ministering spirits, other forces that serve the Lord to be at work, other beings, and ask them to intercede on our behalf, intervene on our behalf, because otherwise if we try to fight against Satan and his forces on our own, we're going to come up on the wrong side, the losing side of that battle. Of course, we know that even though we may lose some battles as believers, Jesus has won us the war through Calvary and through the resurrection. And I just pray that we depend upon Him more so we might win more battles in this war. I hope that helps you. I hope you're able to search the Scriptures and see what it teaches and take a look at some of those other books I mentioned that might give you some extra insight into the spiritual warfare that's very real and that we face. God bless you. May you pray to the Lord to win the battle. See you soon.